Hey, everybody, welcome again to Fostering Music one more time. But if you're new here to the channel, welcome home. This channel's intention is to put myself into another shoes by reacting to songs from different countries and then hopefully by that getting a little bit more of understanding about the world we live in. Today we're gonna do a song that was not a recommendation. This song was in the top charts, but probably is very isolated in the United States. So this is an American song, and it's called "Rich Man North of Richmond." The guy is called Oliver Anthony, and by the scenery, it does remind me a lot of like bluegrass style. So it's not a banjo, but it's a guitar that reminds me of that, like country music in general from United States. So pretty cool. Let's see what is this about. I know that he has to do a little bit about politics because I have seen this guy like he's very distinctive with the how do you call it redhead redhead beard. Oh, he has a ginger. What's the name? Ginger beard, and then of course I have seen a photo of him in some kind of political debate. I'm not sure exactly what's gonna happen, so we're gonna listen to the song and figure it out what he is doing, what is his message about, why people are so flared up with him. I don't know. So we always do in this channel the preconceptions part first, which is I just tell what I know about the country, then we go to the song, react, and then we go to the lyrics, and I tell you guys my 2 cents. So preconception about the United States. I have actually lived in the United States. I have lived in upstate New York. So by the name of this title, I think probably the Richmond is where kind of the places I live. Of course, upstate New York is not so rich as people would think so. It's more like people I mean, living off nature, and there was stuff like this too. But for sure, if he's saying rich man north of Richmond, so he probably is from the south, which is a very different. Well, everything is very different regarding economy and stuff like this, and history itself about the United States. I do know a lot of the United States history. I guess being in the Western world, you are not safe from it. You are blasted with much information about the United States, even if you don't want. You will do that. Of course, I'm speaking in English, so that means that I was educated to understand the language that they speak there. And I lived in the United States for about 15 months, which was a program, an exchange program. I did that, so I do have a lot of background in American culture for sure. One thing about United States is that, of course, there is a history division, there is a cultural division there, and everybody knows that there is a it's flared up right now, especially because election times. This will happen anyway. Like, I mean, it's good for the debate that there is a dichotomy and people are laying their grounds and their opinions in that case. Now, let's see what it's about. I'm actually not entirely sure about it, so we will listen to it first, react, and then I'll give you my 2 cents as a Brazilian, as I said. If you want to continue with me in this journey, looking for songs from all over the world, getting more, knowledge by that, well, hop along, subscribe, and we go do it. We're gonna do this together. And here we go to the song. Here we go.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours.
He has the accent of the South, like Georgia. I don't know, something like that. I'm not an expert in American accents, of course. I don't know the name of this guitar, but I have seen a lot of those guitars. You know, the guitars with this metallic part. I don't know, it's called folk guitar or if there's another name for that. You guys can let me know because actually I am always curious about what is the name of this type of guitar. It's not a banjo, but there's an electric part on that, so it's not a common acoustic guitar. What is
Bullshit
that?
pay so I can sit out
It's
here and
D
waste my
major.
life away. Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to.
Wow.
For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it
Can you see his forehead? So he probably singing with the heart.
is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul.
This guy reminds me of a guy, I think it's called Joy Vance. Vance Joy, something like this. His voice reminds me of that. Vance Joy.
Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause
Look at this. He is on the woods. Interesting.
the rich man, north of Richmond.
Okay. I think I kind of get it. It's talking about social struggle. It's talking about desperation of people who, well, I guess, the middle class. It's a very relatable problem. Actually, it's all over the world, but for sure it will be a problem in the United States nowadays because the middle class is shrinking. Huh. E minor and then a C, G, and
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got
Minors on an
folks
island.
in the
Damn
street,
student.
ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. God, if you're five,
who?
and the whole beast milking
Who is?
welfare.
I don't know.
God, if you're
five.
5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
Kick a man down.
Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to. For people like me, people like you, wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men north of Richmond.
X-Men. So pretty cool. I really like the how do you say, like, the rawness of that song. That song is very raw. There is only one guitar. I mean, that's a guitar. I don't know exactly the name of that, but there's only a guitar, metallic guitar, and the voice. Very fry voice, like very. It's coming from the utter of his soul. Well, you can see that. That's basically what's happening. It is pretty cool. It's like it was the purpose. I mean, not purpose. I would say like the what is coming across is like it's a song of a working class person, like a person doing this from the heart for what he thinks after a day of work. But does have some political innuendo here, so I understand that I think I understand why it's so political.
I've been selling my soul,
Selling myself.
working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
For sure. That was pretty cool. I really like the song. The song is like a song that is coming from the deep of the heart, so that's we always have to think about, like, is that a song that people are really giving their emotion out? And I love when songs are done with, honesty. That's a good thing. If you imagine United States, because United States in general, because of having this idea mentality of being the largest of the world, and the idea of being the proposals of what should be discussed in the marketplace of ideas, it becomes this very plastic, so it's not much about what they think inside. So this is a song is a fresh start in that case. Like it's a song from within, because in general, United States songs are made to be sold worldwide. Like it's just a style, like a copy paste style to be sold everybody and be resonating with everybody. This song does not resonate with everybody, so that's why it's a different one. It's different because it's not made for full scale. It's made for people from that country. I believe so, because of course I understand not 100%, but I understand a good deal of English, so I am actually able to grasp much of the meanings that is inside and hidden inside the lyrics. Though I think he is not exactly right on where he is putting the blame of. The blame of should be put in the social struggle here, because the problem is a problem of the corporations, the corporate problem. You know, I'm gonna go with the lyrics. So I think this one actually is so deep, like it's a one that you have to talk so much, because I better do it together with the lyrics, not only commenting like I do and then I go to the lyrics. We go to the lyrics and we will comment as we see it. So I've been selling my soul working all day. Well, for sure, that's about a person who does not make a lot of money. Overtime hours for pay, so I can't sit out here and waste my life away. Drag back home and down my troubles away. One thing that I noticed, it's different from Brazil, and some people from the United States already told me. United States, alcohol is a scapegoat. So it's a thing that you use to escape reality. In Brazil, normally we use alcohol to socialize. It's a different concept, of course. If we're talking about whiskey, for sure it's about not going away too, like so. But in general, I mean, okay. And when I was there, yes, that was about something like that too. It is a damn shame what the words got into for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world. Song. This rich man north, the rich man lord. Interesting. Like there's a game from United States, Red Dead Redemption. You guys probably know that. And in the game, there is this representation of the bureaucrats from the north, which for me, of course, means like the people from the 13 colonies of the north, and the people from the west, the people like the workers or the people who migrated to the west, and which had to endure many problems while they were building the society in the west. So it does kind of resonate to me with that idea, like that people think that the north, I mean, like you get like Pennsylvania and up until Maine and New York, you have the bureaucrats, and the bureaucrats actually control you. I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I think it makes sense to be irritated by that, and I would be irritated too. This rich man, north of the Richmond Lord, knows it all. To one, I have total control. I wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know what that you do calls your dollar inch, and it's taxable. I wish politicians look out for minors and not just minors on an island. This part, of course, is referring to a conspiracy that happens in the United States. I mean, probably, like, I would not put my hand on the fire for anybody who has a lot of money. That is not something that people with a lot of money are known for, to be morally correct. Although this problem is not about specific type of rich people, it's about the class struggle, and it was deviated. This is deviating from exactly what would be the problem. We do have some food stamps and stuff like here, like this in Brazil, welfare and stuff like this, that also hinders the real question: what is the problem? The problem if you want to know the problem for the person who is really desperate and not seeing any solution from what they have, is of course the bailouts from the rich people who will not pay the taxes, so the government will kind of get that tax from the middle class. That's the biggest thing that's happened. And it's a rigged system in the way that the people who are elected are funded by people who get these tax breaks. So you're funded by these people. These people give you money in the campaign, so they get elected, and because of that, they will give you back some of these perks because of that, and that's a circle that will not be able to end. I guess like it's very good. One thing first, United States right and left, with the liberals and the right in the United States, it's not very representative of what it's like. It's just a game that is not like, both are very capitalistic, and they like to put in their, would you say like this, they are putting in themselves this coat of being for one person, another person, but in general they are there for the capitalistic system to work, and that's actually what's giving this guy some problems and anxiety with his whole life. Now, to change that, of course, it's not easy. Nobody can change it so easily. Maybe if you have a disruptor, I guess that's kind of the idea here, it might lead to change. It can be crazy change or not, I don't know. But what I guess by this kind of part here is just he's being manipulated to think about costumary stuff, things about like the thing that has to do with costumes, to get away from the real problem. The real problem is the middle class shrunk. The middle class shrunk because of what? Tax cuts. Tax cuts happen because of what? It's funded. It's funded by these people. This will not end. And then you can be sure that Democrats and liberals and the Republicans, they all need each other. It's an echo chamber. They need an echo chamber to make the other the enemy, and then you fund them. I never funded, and I will never fund a candidate in Brazil. If the candidate wants to fund themselves, they will fund themselves. Like, there is in Brazil, we have a like a tax table from the taxes. We have party money being given for people, and that's according to some traits. I don't know if that's the best idea, but one thing I know is that me personally giving money for a politician to do its bidding and its election, that would not happen, because I know exactly where I am in the social system. So yeah, they will of course profit from that. Liberals and Republicans alike. The game of name calling the other one is what makes the money. If you name call the other one, and that is the problem, so you put the problem there, so that means pay cash. So I mean, that is what exactly is happening. Lord, we got folks in the street and got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare. I mean, he's probably saying like there's people who have not money and some people are making welfare. That's not just. But although you're not focusing on the real point, the real point is people who are actually milking welfare is people who get tax breaks, like Brazilian player Neymar, very good player. Of course, I like him. He's a guy that represents our country. But he got 30 million breaks from the Brazilian government. Why? Because he was going to be the player to win our soccer game. And look how shameful it is. I pay much more taxes probably than he does in regards to what I make and in regards to what he makes. So that is the biggest problem. The biggest welfare takers are not somebody who you actually, I think that is the system little trick. It's we are only socializing with people who have a little bit of difference from us, and we're seeing that difference as something unfair, because actually we don't have access to those people who get 30 more million breaks. Like I know one story about the crash of 2018 that one of these stockbrokers, big ones, they were just funded by the government. That's a tax break. That would probably feed and clothe a whole city in the United States for 10 years, probably. So that's the state of things we're talking about. But if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, 5'3", yeah, I don't like the measurements in the United States. This means 1.5 meters, about 300 pounds. Taxes do not pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Yeah, United States is very problematic with the obesity, and you just putting the person's blame on itself. It is hard because when I live in the United States, tomatoes costed so much. Like it was easier to buy, and I didn't buy it because I didn't have this custom on myself. But it was easier to buy a McDonald's if I would spend less money. Yeah. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground. So okay, I understood what you're saying. Because all these contractors keeping on kicking them down, kicking the man down. For sure, yes. You know, nowadays reality is really, really bleak. And I think, would I consider myself white in Brazil? Yeah, but when I was in the United States, of course I was not considering that. But there's a thing that happens. Because if you're white, and whiteness is the Western culture itself, like it's the level in which everything is contrasted with. Maybe it was good to talk about rules in this case, but there is a how do you call it? Side effect. There's a side effect from that. Is that you are actually empty because there is nothing that you can separate from the standard. You being the standard is the most shallow place you can be because you're nothing contrasted with the standard. So I guess in that case, oh my god, I'm speaking so much. This video is giving me so much to talk. It's pretty cool. Actually, being able to talk so much is pretty cool too. But if you're just the standard and you can't have something to differentiate yourself, so you're just shallow, empty, and that of course leads to problems. And that problem will be made much worse if there's economic problems as there is and there will be in the world right now. I wish I could just wake up and not be true, but it is and it is. This rich man know the rich man Lord, knows they all just want to have a total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but you know that you do, cause your dollar ain't, and it's taxed, no hand calls her ex-man or for free phones. Is that true? Maybe it's a wrong lyrics in here, but of course, poverty leads to such desperation that people will abdicate of higher morals because of that. I'm selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for pain. I feel you, I really feel you, because I, being part of the working class, I know that if you really look objectively to the world, you know that you were not able to find any room close to what some people, the billionaires, have. Like California big tech, so a lot of them can be scammers, a lot of them can be just people who sell some snake oil, and people buy it, and money is concentrating in a way that was not concentrated before. And the way it's concentrated is the worst, because it's not a way that concentrates in production. It's just a way to concentrate, like it concentrates in being edgy, and that is, I guess that is a little shame in society to things happen like this. So you cannot be angry with this guy that he's just saying that the future is bleak. Why should I fight for my country? That's kind of a desperation call. That's what I hear by that. Like when I hear this sound, I'm hearing desperation. Like do something, and hopefully this guy understands that the do something is not about punching down your neighbors, like your buddies that are in the same side than you, but you would have to punch down exactly where the problem is, and the problem is the tax breaks. That's the problem is. Well, I talked a lot, and I'm sorry if you had to listen to me for this long. Anyway, hope you guys liked my video and my reactions. Total honesty, no break, no cuts. I'm just speaking as I feel it. If you like what I said or disagree with me, you can just put in the comments. I am here to learn with you guys, see other perspectives, and that, of course, will help me getting a little bit more knowledge about the world we live in. If you like it, maybe you should subscribe, and then you're gonna hop with me in this adventure of discovering the world with songs from different countries, like we did today. That's a real within cultural American song. Pretty cool. I have another song from United States that I've reacted before, which is from Ink Spots. You can find it over here. And I will see you guys another day with another song from another country. Bye bye.